Okay, part 3 is our I can apply integer operations to real-world situations. One February day, the low temperature in St. Paul, Minnesota was negative 17 degrees. Over a period of 3 hours, the temperature rose 5 degrees per hour. After 3 hours, what was the temperature? So it was started at negative 17. Over 3 hours, it rose 5 degrees per hour. So let's find out how many degrees that it rose altogether. So 5 times 3 gives me 15. So it went up 15 degrees over the 3 hours. So it started at negative 17 and then it went up 15 degrees. So it is now, the temperature is now negative 2 degrees. Also might help to look at it on a thermometer. So these are all negatives. So let's do it in 5, 10, 15, 20. It was down here at negative 17 and it rose 15 degrees or 15 spots, and now it's at negative 2. Water has a freezing point of 32 degrees. Mercury has a freezing point that is 70 degrees lower. What is the freezing point of mercury? So we know that it's got a freezing point of 32 degrees. That's where we're starting at. And then mercury has a freezing point that is 70 degrees lower. So we are going to add, if it's going to be lower, we're going to add negative 70. So we use our adding integer rules. Signs are different, so we subtract their absolute values. And then we keep the sign of the one that is a larger absolute value, negative 38 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 33. In a game, the winner is the person closest to 0. The second place participant was 6 points behind. If the winner had a score of negative 5, then what was the score for second place? All right, so we're going to be the one that's closest to 0. Second place was 6 points behind, and the winner had negative 5. So if we're 6 points away, so if I say, here is my 0, score of negative 5, this is my winner, winner, chicken dinner, and we were 6 points behind that. I need to find out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are we at? Second place has a score of negative 11. An elevator was on the 15th floor. It goes down 8 floors. What floor is the elevator on now? It started on the 15th floor, and then it went down 8 floors. It is now on the 7th floor. At the beginning of the day, the temperature is negative 8 degrees. As the sun comes out, it warms up to 19 degrees. What was the temperature once it warms up? So it warms up, not up to. Okay, so we started at negative 8 and we went up 19 degrees. So it will be a positive 11 degrees is where we're at now. The stock market fell 75 points over a period of 5 days. What was the average change in the stock market every day? So 75 points, it fell. 75 points over 5 days. So it goes in there one time. 5. So did it go up or down? It went down 15 points every day. In a card game, the winner must have a sum greater than -3 in order to win. So we need to make sure, because that's sum is an answer to an addition problem. What is the sum of the 4 cards below? Did they win? So we need to find the sum of these. So we've got 9 plus -8 plus -5 plus 2. Remember, when we're doing more than one operation or we have more than 2 integers, we take it 2 at a time. So 9 plus -8 is going to give me 1. And then we bring down the rest of it. Continue working that way, and we're going to get -4. Continue, we're going to get -2. So the sum is -2. What is the sum? And did they win? Remember, the sum has to be greater than -3. Is -2 greater than -3? If we remember our discussion about number lines, these are my positives, these are my negatives. On my number line, the further left you go, the least you are. Over here, the greater you are. So on the negative side, the further away from 0 you get, the smaller you get. The more to the right you go, or away from 0, the bigger you get. So -2 would come here. -3 would be here. Is -2 greater than 3? Yes, they won. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right. The water level dropped 3 inches every week for 5 weeks. By how much did the water level change? 3 inches. It dropped 3 inches every week. Dropped 3 inches for 5 weeks. It's going to give me -15. So I guess it would be inches. So it dropped -15 degrees, or -15 inches. So that concludes our study review. I would suggest, for more practice or to continue your rules, you need to know your rules. Know your rules. That's your adding rules. Your subtracting rules. Your multiplying and dividing integer rules. Also study your key words. Which ones tell you negatives and which ones tell you positives. Be sure to practice, 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 and study so you can get 100. See ya on test day.